This year, the World Congress on Men's Health will convene from October 9th to October 11th in the beautiful city of Vienna. This meeting is promising to be the most influential and largest meeting on men's health. This meeting will bring experts from different specialties, from heart disease, cardiovascular disease, endocrinology, urology, psychiatry, psychology, and others, to discuss one topic: men's health. The title of the conference is "Why Men Die Earlier and Suffer More." So I'm going to ask Dr. Sadowski, why is there so much interest in men's health?
Well, I think everybody's always surprised when we talk about this topic, but clearly men don't live as long as women. Women who are of older ages have difficulty finding male partners, and there's one reason. It's because men die younger. If you look at the statistics across the world, it may vary a little bit, but men usually die 4 to 7 years before women in the same community. So we have to try and do something to help men to try and equalize this life expectancy.
Well, let me ask you the question, Dr. Sadowski. Is this difference in the life expectancy between men and women a general difference? Is it different, for example, in different part of the world, in different geography, in different ethnicity, different race?
Well, in most countries we find that this difference in the life expectancy seems to continue. And actually, women live longer than men in most societies in the world. This is probably partly because of genetic differences. In other words, the genes that were passed on to you from your parents have some impact on whether you live or whether you die. But actually, men have a Y chromosome, and that Y chromosome actually is thought to give men some disadvantage. In addition, men as young children, through adolescence, and through older age, are more susceptible to a variety of medical illnesses. As a matter of fact, of the 14 out of 15 major causes of death in the United States, men die more frequently from them and at younger ages than women. The only medical problem that women seem to have at a younger age than men is Alzheimer's disease.
Well, these are very important facts, Dr. Sadowski. My question is, and maybe Dr. Fish can help me, are these facts well known? Do people know about the state of men's health and the difference between the two genders?
Well, it's amazing how much denial actually exists for men. In fact, men see physicians a lot less often, and they think that they are as strong as possible and as healthy, and overall they're essentially in denial. So the bottom line is men really need to see their physicians and really determine if a problem actually exists, because if a problem exists, there's something we can do about it. We do know that there are issues involved with men's health and with the fact that we are not living as long as we really should, and we're suffering from disease a lot more than we really should, and it just means going to see the physician, determining what the problem is so that we could treat it earlier and, you know what, and live longer.
Thank you. Dr. Sadowski, is there anything we can do, we as doctors, we as society, we are as men? Is there anything we can do about this area of unmet needs?
Well, as Dr. Fish has mentioned, men certainly are very hesitant to go to doctors. As a matter of fact, the major motivator for a man to go for health care is usually a partner, and most generally a female partner. You can't drag a man into a doctor's office unless there's some very serious medical problem. So we need to try harder to get men to come into the doctor's offices. We also should spend some time talking about some of the risk behaviors that men do in their occupations, at home, smoking, taking risks at work, and other kinds of alcohol use and dangerous activities. So number one is we've got to get the men in to speak to a clinician or a healthcare worker. And then number two is we've got to try and communicate with men about some of their risk behaviors and hopefully help them to live longer.
Thank you. And please stay with us. We will come back to tell you the story about men's health, why men live shorter and die earlier. This is Dr. Ridwan. the Dr. Ridwan Show, health information you can use.